Hey, what's up everybody? Ray here. New video. I wanted to say thanks for being patient with me as far as like getting like new content up or whatever. It was a rough week last week relocating the studio, so I apologize and I appreciate all of y'all being patient. With that being said, if you are into the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're digging all the stuff I'm putting out, throw a like on the video. So let's go ahead and get into this breaking rumor, leak, whatever, about there being a new exclusive to Sony, timed exclusive, new Final Fantasy title coming out, dropping at E3. Square Enix is going to announce. We already knew that Square Enix was going to have a big E3, like as far as their lineup, big plans, that kind of thing. But this throws a whole other dimension because we figured they were going to have like a lot of like remasters, possibly another remake or two coming out for different things. I know Legacy of Kain's been thrown around a lot, Eidos games, maybe a new Tomb Raider. My hope is a big Chrono Trigger kind of something, right? But this says specifically Final Fantasy, right? So there's a new Final Fantasy title coming. So my top three guesses, predictions on what it could be, right? I've seen a lot of people throwing around Final Fantasy 17. I'm like, no. They're not even, they might be talking about ideas for 17, but nothing, I don't think anything's in the works yet. But here's what I do think it could be. I think it could be like a Final Fantasy Type 0 situation. That's my bottom of the three predictions. Some kind of Final Fantasy Type 0, some kind of experimental Final Fantasy game they're wanting to work on. Like a Crystal Chronicles or a Type 0 or something like that. That's one thing it could be. My second guess, and not to discount the first guess, I don't know how I feel about that. My gut tells me it could be something like that. But I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much. Now, here's where we get into getting my hopes up territory. This is where we get into getting my hopes up territory with the second guess. It's a new Final Fantasy Tactics. Now, this could tie into something else, because my prediction was that Project Triangle Strategy could be like a working codename, working title for like Final Fantasy Tactics 3. But that's on Switch, right? That's going to be, I think it might be exclusive to Switch for at least a little bit of time, but a true Final Fantasy Tactics game, a new tactics game, would be incredible. And that, that could be a Sony specific release, because Final Fantasy Tactics, the first one, I believe has only ever been on Sony consoles. It might be on Steam, but it was never on Xbox. The port was on PSP, and it's always been on PlayStation Network, PSN. Original came out PS1. So they could continue the trend with a new Final Fantasy Tactics game, which would be incredible. I would just love that. I would eat that up. That would be great. Now, for my third guess, or my top guess, right? Another remake. Or remaster. I think we're getting a remaster, because we're not getting a remake. A remake suggests they're going to change things, right? So, I've talked about this in chat and on my Discord with people. A remake is not a remaster, right? Resident Evil Remaster on GameCube, but it's been ported so many times, it's probably my favorite, still to this day, my favorite Resident Evil game they've ever done. It's not called a remake because they added a few things here and there, but they didn't change the overall story and how things happen. That would be a remake. It's very much a remaster. So I think we could be getting Final Fantasy either 4, 5, or 6 remaster. Hell, they might be remastering 4, 5, and 6. They might be doing all of them. But 6 is the one I'm predicting. A remaster of Final Fantasy 6. That would be a new title announcement. It's not a new game. Final Fantasy 6 exists, but a remaster of that game with maybe an overhauled kind of like system for dealing with magic, and still turn-based. Keep it turn-based. But a remaster of Final Fantasy VI. That is my top prediction. I hope that's what they're doing. I think that could be the direction they're going. But it's limitless. It could be anything. But I think it's either going to be like a Final Fantasy Type 0, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles type of deal, a new Final Fantasy Tactics game, or it's going to be Final Fantasy 6, 4, 5, or 6 Remaster, or all three. Hell, do all three. You know what I mean? Because we already know they've been outsourcing the remaster business to other people. But anyway, let me know what you all think. What are your predictions? Let me know in the comments below. Hit me up on Discord. Also, make sure to follow me up here, Kaufman20XX on Twitter and Instagram. Like, subscribe, share, all the stuff. You know what I mean? So I'll catch you all again. I've got an important video coming out tomorrow. I've been working on it. I'm putting time into this one. This one's special to me, so I hope you all will check that out when it drops tomorrow. But anyway, until then, you all have a great night. Be good to each other. Stay safe out there and keep rocking. And I will see you all in the next video.